What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar. Time to bring you guys the top 10 best cards of EX-05's Animal Colosseum. So I'm excited to bring this to you guys. Without further ado, let's dive in the video and talk about it. So first off, we have none other than Grace Novamon. Grace Novamon being one of the few cards of the set that is the secrets, is really powerful indeed. So it has a when digivolving when attacking. If a DNA, you trash everything from any 8 Digievolution cards from your opponent's Digimon, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with equal or fewer Digievolutions than this card. All turns, if this Digimon would leave the battle area by your opponent's effect by trashing 2 cards of the same level in its Digievolutions, prevent it from leaving play. So good way of keeping him on the board. He's kind of a sticky body. It's got security +1, so it does 2 attacks, and it's a blocker. Not terrible. Then we have Sunmon. Sunmon being one of the most powerful cards because when an effect places the top card of this Digievolution as into the bottom, this card then will be able to let you Digivolve from your hand for a cost reduction 1. So this allows you to combo in really the most powerful rookie for the deck, and this is what you want to have. Then you have Coronamon. Coronamon is just basically starter main phase. If you have a Tamer, Light Claw, or a Light Fang or a Night Claw trait, gain a memory, and then basically de-digivolves. It just does the shenanigans you want it to do. I think it's very powerful, being able to de-digivolve and gain 2 memory to set yourself up to dig a little deeper, build up power stacks and power columns. Then you have Firamon. Firamon basically is one of the 2 big powerhouse searchers because it has an on-play when digivolving a real top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Light Fang trait and 1 card with Nightclaw or Galaxy trait among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Just Firamon, and plus the 2000 DP boost is pretty solid. Then we have Flaramon. Flaramon that basically gives a plus 2000 DP, but basically if you would play or digivolve into this card, if you have a Digimon with Light Fang or Nightclaw and Galaxy in its traits, it has 3 or more Digievolutions, reduce the cost by 2. So be coming in for a 1 cost, really solid. And then on play, or when digivolving, delete a 5000 DP. Then you have Lycusmon. Lycusmon's just the searcher, same thing with Flaramon. This thing is just going to be checking top 3, grabbing the 1 Nightclaw and 1 Light or Galaxy. Plus gives your DP on your opponent's turn. Then you have Cressamon. Cressamon basically similar to Flaramon. This one is basically Nightclaw, Light Fang, or Galaxy in its traits. With 3 or more Digievolution, reduce the cost by 2. On play, when digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot suspend until the end of opponent's turn, and then opponent's turn, it gets plus 2000 DP. Then we have Apollomon, basically Blitz Evolution, gains extra security for every 3 cards in the stack, and then your turn, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, delete one of your opponent's Digimon DP less than or equal to this Digimon. Control board, basically rush, clear out their security, shut them down from doing things. Then you have Dianamon, basically blocker when digivolving or when attacking for each of the Digievolution cards. Trash 1 Digievolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, then all your opponent's Digimon with no Digievolution cannot suspend until the end of turn. Locks things down, but all turns when a Digievolution of one of your opponent's Digimon is trashed, unsuspend the Digimon, allowing you to multi-attack as long as they have a Digimon with a source. Then Lunamon. Lunamon's probably the best for the deck, just because you promote this up for starter main phase, bounce your level 4. This lets you combo off and pretty much get to a Mega pretty quickly. So Lunamon's just the better rookie of the 2. And then basically, you know, place the top of this Digimon with Nightclaw, you know, to gain the 2 memory by Digievolution. So that's the top 10 for that. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Okay, time to be all serious now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that part, but now let's get into the real top 10. First off, let's talk about Metal Edamon. Metal Edamon is my number 10 pick because this card helps synergize the deck in a way that it makes it actually scary to play against. The fact that opponent's turn, when opponent's Digimon attacks by placing 1 Edamon or Sukamon in its name from your hand at the top of your security stack, you may change the attack target to this Digimon or the player. So if you want to put Suka Curse on top, you can put that there. Or if you have an Edamon that comes out of security, does this shenanigans. I remember there is one of the Edamons that is a security effect that does crazy things. I think it plays a level 6 when hidden security, so using that level 5 to be able to play your level 6 is ridiculous. But also, it has an on play and a when Digivolving. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer with a play cost 3 or less, and then for each Edamon and Sukamon in its name in your trash, add 1 to the cost you may choose with this effect. Being able to remove threats off board is huge, and this thing just synergizes so well, so I like it a lot. Then we have Heavy Leomon. Heavy Leomon has Indominate. When this card is deleted while it has Digivolution, play it without playing its cost. This is a revamp of the Millenniumon. So Millenniumon's skill is now a keyword instead of just being in a normal and long text. So when Digivolving on deletion, to de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less to the bottom of the deck. And if attack, return one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less to the bottom of the deck. This, if effect didn't return, unspend this Digimon. So, you know, you get multi-attacking possibility with him, but also being able to de-Digivolve and kind of just get a threat off the board is sometimes really powerful in some circumstances. You know, Heavy Leomon is very powerful of a card. That's why it's in the spot here. Then we have Lunamon. Lunamon is actually here because this deserves it. The fact that it's the one rookie you want to see almost every single time when you have a Lycus or Flareomon. So this is basically allowing you to bounce your pieces, gain the extra memory, set yourself up to combo, and just shut down your opponent. You know, you have start a main phase by returning one of your Digimon to their owner's hand, gain 2 memory, and then by placing the top card of this Digievolution Digimon with Nightclaw or Light Fang in its traits as a bottom Digievolution card of the Digimon, gain 2 memory. Really solid there. We gain some combo pieces and value out of this, so it's just really good because being able to de-Digivolve, gain 2 memory, you basically gain 4 memory just from this one card alone for just doing your normal shenanigans. Then you have Leopardmon X Antibody. When Digivolving main, you may play 1 green Digimon card from your hand for the cost. When it would be played by this effect, reduce the play cost by 4. If a card with Leopardmon is in its name or X Antibody is Digievolution, reduce it by 3. So this thing can reduce up to a 7. So either you play a 7 or less for free, which is really nasty, or you can combo and do other shenanigans that relate to being able to play like Boncho Leo at even a reduced cost, or anything that's a really powerful mega at a very strong reduced cost that just lead into crazy shenanigans. Your turn, when you play a Digimon, you may return one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less to the hand. For each of your other Digimon, add 3,000. So this thing, basically, if you have 2 Digimon on board, it can bounce any 11k. So if you have 3 other Digimon, this thing can just deal with most megas in an instant. So it's not a bad thing just to have a bouncer like Leopardmon X. Then we have Leviamon. So this thing has a security +1 on play when Digivolving. If your opponent has equal or more Digimon and Tamer, then you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. See, what's really nasty about this card is the fact that it can, if there's only one stack and it has at least like 4 protections built in, this card gets around that because that you cannot protect in the same effect column more than once. A really nasty ruling that basically says, you know, because Leviamon's effect is two pops in one effect, you instantly are popping in the same instance, so you can't protect in the same instance. So that's really nasty. It gets around a lot of protections, and it's scary. Then all turns, when opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory for each Digimon deleted. I think this is really good. I think gaining the memory is huge, especially because it's not once per turn. So this leads you pop 2. This thing's a guaranteed 2 memory back. If it's just pop 1, you know, you get at least 1 back. So this card, being able to security +1, just keep swinging at a beefy 13 is just nasty as can be. Then we have Fanglongmon Big Dong here. So this thing is just huge. This thing is beefy, 15,000 DP. It has an on play when attacking by returning up to 4 cards with Deva or 4 Sabin traits from your trash to the bottom of the deck. For each card returned, all your opponent's Digimon get -4,000 DP for the turn. That blanket effect, really nasty. You can remove almost anything because you put back 4 cards. And then when attacking, for each of your opponent's Digimon with 4 Sabin traits, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. And then all turns, this Digimon isn't affected by effects of your opponent's Digimon. So option effects are the only thing that shuts this thing down, and you have to be prepared to shut it down. This thing will walk over anything that's living, breathing, anything. Once this thing is established, unless you are ready with a Gaia Force of something that's going to deal with this monstrosity, this thing's going to wreck your day. Because of the protection, because most players don't have natural option removal, that because it's not searchable in their deck naturally, you have issues where now you're dealing with this kind of thing. These boss Digimon that basically are towers on their own, that are just known in Yu-Gi-Oh's terms, is basically Cleafor Tower with this massive protection and very bulky body, that the only way you're going to deal with it is either you can swing into it to remove it off the board, or having the right kind of removal to deal with it. Then we have Gabumon X Antibody. Gabumon being one of the cards that got limited because of the on-play when Digivolving. The fact that it just tempos really well and just accelerates this card. So revealing top 4 cards, add 2 cards with Gabumon X Antibody in their names among them to your hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. If you added a card, trash 1 card in your hand. And then when this Digimon has this built-in protection, returning 2 non-Digi Eggs, cycling back in for your Garurumon and Omnimon stacks. So he's just really powerful. Didn't really need to be hit, in my opinion, but it did. Garurumon X Antibody when Digivolving. Obviously, this had to reach the list. When Digivolving, draw 2, then trash 2 cards in your hand. If Garurumon or X Antibody's Digivolution cards gain 1 memory. So this card got restricted just because of how fluid it makes any purple deck. You do not get off this card. So if this thing was at full power, your Garurumon decks and any purple deck in the seeable future would have just been overly dominated because of just how powerful this card is. And, you know, it has its protection seal similar to Gabumon X Antibody. So just all in all that. Then since the promos come out in this set, this card would have made my top 10 list multiple times over in any way, shape, or form. Probably be second or first at any given time. Right now, it's second place. So the fact that it has Raid and Retaliation and being able to cycle this back in constantly, I mean constantly, is by definition of this thing. Just because you have Merva-mon that'll basically replay this if you play it. And then basically because it has Rush, you can raid into any of your opponent's Digimon. They don't have protections. It's removing any threat off the board that is standing. And even if they had suspended, because it has natural retail, it's going after it. This Saberdramon is just so nasty, and it just freaks me out because this thing exists. This thing is just very powerful card. Just the fact that it can attack unsuspended, it can retaliation, because you just want it to suicide. It's a very powerful either free removal or 5-cost removal. This thing is just nasty. And then Anubis being number 1. Anubis, when Digivolving main, is just the main reason why this thing had to go to 1. The fact that it can synergize and create these wide board scenarios when Digivolving, you know, you may trash up to 3 cards in your hand, then you play 1 purple Digimon card from your trash for the cost, and when it would be played by this effect, reduce the play cost by 3. For each card trashed by this effect, reduce it by 1. Then your turn, when your Digimon is played by an effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon 5 or lower. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, draw a card. So this thing is not once per turn. The fact that it's a main effect for Anubis, if it was just a win Digivolving, Anubis is not as scary because you get to 1 body. The fact that Anubis can just keep spitting out body, 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 turn after turn after turn after turn, then synergizes because you play a Digimon, you draw if you didn't delete anything of your opponent's, just be able to re-synergize your hand or remove a level 5 or higher threat is just ridiculously strong. So it's just very powerful Anubis around the board. Just hits all those check marks on a boss level Digimon. So this thing is definitely a boss level Digimon. It's not a tower level Digimon. That is definitely Feng Longmon, but the fact that we had basically powerful cards in purple this set really shows how far it had to go, because these cards got restricted as heck. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the top 10. Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace!